for people that are golfers, they'll know that the architect Kidd was the person that designed the Bandon Dunes in Florida, which is one of the great links courses in the world, and he's a Scottish designer. And so you're sitting at this, perched on top of this hill, and you're looking down at this Scottish landscape down below, and it's really, really a beautiful place and a great restaurant. I've been there, and this is the first opportunity we've had to take the group there because they've expanded the public areas of the area so that we can get enough people in there. So it's going to be a wonderful, fun evening, and all of these events are going to be. We're going to be having great Northwestern wines from both Washington and Oregon. Oregon Pinots, Washington Cabs, you know, Sauvignon Blancs, Pinot Gris. It's going to be great. So I think most of our clients do enjoy drinking wine. And those that want to only drink water or spirits, we'll have those available for people too.
And beer, not to
and beer.
The wonderful beer.
Yeah, beer, absolutely. The Deschutes Brewery in Bend, Oregon is the 7th largest producer of beer sold in America.
Wow.
And their beer, the Abyss, which is a specialty beer, is something like number 5 beer in the whole entire world.
Yeah.
Abyss?
It's called the Abyss.
I like the porter.
That's
Appropriately.
Yeah, it's a great.
Never even heard of it.
Great, there are many different microbreweries in the area, not just the Deschutes.
What if we all get lots of clients to go? Can everybody go?
Close the galleries.
You know, there's always, you know, we do, generally speaking, if you get, depending on who the clients are that you get to come, but if you get 3, you get to come, and the gallery takes care of all of your expenses, including your airfare and everything. However, you can always come to Jim, and you can say, look, I've only got 1 client, but I want to go, and I'm willing to go ahead and take the risk of funding the trip myself, but if I do X amount of dollars in business, will you reimburse me? That's an option that you can talk to Jim about.
There are a couple of people still on the mainland that hadn't made it back yet, but
Okay.
they thought they could sell.
No, slow
When we did the events first in Bend, we had 2 days of activities that people could do. So they could do, one day they could play golf, the next day they could do another thing. But then we started looking at it and we said, well, you know, I think that we thought that it might be better if we just, the second day we got everybody together to do the same thing, which is what we did last year. And it was an incredible experience to go to Elk Lake, which is up in the mountains, about 30-40 minutes from the old mill. And last year there was so much snow. We were actually driving through a winter blast of snowfall that had accumulated. It was like 8 or 9 feet high on the side of the road, and we were driving through this tunnel of snow and getting up to this lake, and then it was
On a beautiful day.
80 degrees.
Yeah.
They had only cleared it out maybe the week before.
Yeah. It was incredible.
We had
But
a lot of spring snow.
beautiful, beautiful area with, you know, that you can look, Mount Bachelor staring at you.
Yeah, so you're
right
canoeing in the middle of this. You're canoeing in the middle of this lake, and then looking up at these beautiful white snow-capped peaks, and you know people are swimming.
Remember the reflection in the sky, though? We
Oh
also
yeah, there was a rainbow in the sky. It was like, I don't know what they call it.
crystallized something up there.
Yeah, it was amazing.
And we celebrated a wedding last year, and
Wow.
not to be outdone, we're going to do it again this year.
Really?
Wow. Who's
Yeah,
getting married
Tracy's
this year?
getting married.
Oh. You buy, I'll fly.
Anyway, so that's the day. We're going to go to lake. We're going to have more activities on the lake this year that will be organized in such a way that we're going to get everybody out on the lake, hopefully, and it should be a lot of fun. And then we have the show that evening, and the show is going to be fantastic. And then we just walk a few yards away to a great outdoor setting. Hopefully, it'll be a nice warm night right on the river and have dinner at Anthony's, which is a great restaurant.
We're
Followed,
not doing Greg's Grill?
no,
Okay.
Could you run down the artist list again on that, Tim?
yes, the artists are Robert Bissell, the Twins, Aldo Luongo, Mitchell Mead, Otsuka, Jason Waldron, and Donna Young.
That's good.
And if anybody's wondering about Jason Waldron's work, do you want me to explain a little bit about it? He goes out into, hiking, and he always carries a big backpack, and he picks up all these interesting pieces of juniper wood and manzanita and carts it back to his studio. And so he has like all these different containers with all different colors and shapes. And then he will actually use usually a big piece of manzanita as a backbone for a piece. And then he adds all these little tiny pieces of wood that he screws together. And they're almost like brush strokes because they're all different shades of, weatheredness. So light gray, dark gray, brown. Some of the pieces of wood will have little bits of moss on them. And so we have one piece that's a great big giant eagle that's about 9 feet long with all these different pieces of wood, and then the beak is carved out of the manzanita. There's another one that's a torso, and just so like all the ribs are made with different pieces of juniper. There's a hawk's head, and then he's just done a new one that's a face. And it's very, very moving. People really that are into nature and really like these works very much.
You've seen them on the computer, without experiencing them directly, it's a whole, it sounds like it's an entirely different, because you look at a little screen.
Yeah,
And it's,
no,
you can't really get to
It's-
grasp it.
it's amazing how he fits all these pieces together, and from a painter's eye, it's seriously like each one of these pieces of wood is like a different brush stroke that he puts together and creates these sculptures.
Thank you.
Suitable for wall hangings.
Yeah.
Okay, let's move on. The next event that we're having after the Bend event is in September in Vancouver, Canada, Vancouver, BC specifically. And we talked a little bit about this already earlier, but I have to say that and Patrice and Jim and Nancy, who were there last year, can further verify this. The hotel that we're staying at is like to die for. I am so looking forward to staying in this hotel. We stayed at the Four Seasons, which was across the street last year.
Makes the Four Seasons look dumpy.
The Four Seasons,
Yeah.
it looked like a Motel 6 compared to this one. The Queen of England, the Rolling Stones, the Beatles, Frank Sinatra, everybody of who's who.
To give you a little background, it's an old historic hotel, it's an old historic building, and it's sort of a little bit of an Art Deco, and I don't know what you would call it, the architecture, not really Victorian, but, real antique-y, but, very chic. In the way that they've completely restored it.
1927.
1920.
Completely restored.
Kim, is this the hotel that
is-
you wanted to change to last time?
Yeah, we did the show in this hotel.
We did.
We did the actual show in this
The
hotel.
hotel was built in 1927, took them 9.5 months, they spent 4.5 years renovating it.
It's exquisite, it's a really